Today we're going to do a comparison between these two products. Both these products are proven to clean carbon really well in other tests, and I wanted to compare two of the best products that I found myself through my own research. And on these plugs that are some of them were tested okay. There was a couple. The one on the left definitely was carbon fouled. So it came out of a cylinder where it just had a lot of oil combustion in there. So that's this one over here. And then there was one bad one in here that got really fouled and it didn't spark anymore. Though they all test fine on the meter. And I got a little drawing up here just to show the construction and the topology of a spark plug. You have the terminal nut where the ignition coil goes, and then it feeds through here through a little resistor, and then you have another anode where the center electrode, and then you have your ground electrode. So we're trying to clean up in here, and what we're seeing is like carbon gets up in here and it creates an electrical path, and that path is interrupted by the ignition coil. It changes the resistance of the whole plug, the way that the ignition coil is charged. If there's lower coil resistance here, you will not get a proper spark. And a lot of the times your plug's not bad, it's just got a lot of carbon in here. And we're going to attempt to try to clean it and revitalize these. If this resistor, the path is open here, obviously cleaning's not going to do anything. So we're going to try to clean these using a couple products that are known to be high performance cleaners for carbon, and the efficacy is already known, but I don't know which one is going to be better at cleaning these kinds of I've never seen a spark plug cleaned properly with just the solvent. So we're going to leave it, and I'll come back with a video after I just show a little bit about the condition of the current electrodes. These are Iridium plugs by NGK. And I think one of these plugs actually has a little bit different, either it's broken. I think it got broken here. Either it's broken, it broke in operation maybe, because there's a piece that the insulator tends to stick out more on these, even though they seem to be the same part number. You can kind of see the insulators on the Iridium plugs, if they're all the same part. It sticks out just to about the tip area. On that one, it may be cracked. I'll look at it under the microscope once it's cleaned. So these are probably the original plugs that were in the car. After about 100,000 kilometers, I changed them out, and this is what I found. So I'll go ahead and put the cleaner in, now that we kind of audited the current state of them. This one was definitely bad. It was misfiring and eventually just opened up, and we think that enough carbon got in there to change the resistance. Probably drives the resistance too low, so that the high voltage ignition from the coil was being attenuated or reduced here at the electrodes. So I'll go ahead and pour the solvent in. We got CLR up against the ZEP, We'll just see which ones clean better after an hour or two, and then overnight, and then I'll leave them for another day. So we'll do it over 2 days or so. So after about an hour, we're getting some reactions happening here, and I just hope, I've been watching the temperature because I took some basic chemistry classes in college, and I just don't trust certain, when you're working with unknown properties of substances and metals and chemicals, you always have to be careful about vapors and reactions in terms of heat energy and vapors that might react with each other. So far everything's all right. Most interesting is that we are getting reactions, and both products are showing ability to clean, and I'm not agitating this. I purposely I'm trying to minimize agitation in hopes that I can get a better idea as to what solution actually works better without having to manhandle it. So it's kind of like part of the criteria is not to intervene with the chemical process and to keep it as safe as possible. So I will not shuffle the fluids. I will not try to interject or intervene with the chemical process of cleaning. I'm just going to observe. So you can kind of see there is some activity in there with the CLR. There's some bubbling, and I don't know if the acid, some of these, this is a patented product, and it may have some kind of a unique chemistry to it. You see the patent numbers there? And it's under a Canadian patent, so I don't know if it's the same in the US. They also say it's plant-based, which kind of... Oh yeah, it's lactic acid and some other... It's a special blend of... Well, I remember reading about it. Anyways, when you're working with acids, you should be wearing gloves and just be careful what you're doing. I have safety glasses on, so yeah, you don't want to spill this on you. And you definitely don't want to use this on plugs that you expect to keep, because I don't know if these plugs, after they get out of this bath, if they're gonna be any, if the threads will be gnarled or it'll be chewed up so bad that you can't even use the plugs anymore. The ZEP seems to be working too. It's got this like interesting what do you call that? Like a weeping. It's weeping oil and carbon, and some of it's stuck on the side of the container here. It actually broke that loose all on its own. It's sort of dissolving it without bubbles. So there's quite a bit more reaction happening on this side with the CLR. So yeah, we have CLR versus ZEP. Both have been proven to be very good at cleaning up grease and carbon. But I'll leave it from here. I'll probably come back in 12 or 24 hours and see how things are. We might come back and find there's nothing left of the spark plugs, or they're just gnarled because the acid ate the metal. I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's my hypothesis. So let's go from there. Okay, so we're back 24 hours later. You can see there's big changes here. Now, one of the things I noticed is that the threaded area, the base of the plugs have all gone dark black. Now, there's a good reason for this, and I think it's because of the special trivalent chromium coating. I think the CLR is stripped it off. That's why you see all this other stuff in here, this threaded looking stuff. I think that is part of the chrome or the chromium, what do you call it? It's a type of plating, an electroplating of some kind. So let's see if I can get a good shot of this. I don't know if I can focus this okay or not. I might have to zoom up a little bit and then grab one out of here. Try a different one. That's the one that had the end blown off. That actually failed in the cylinder. And it got filled up with carbon too. Let's see. It's removing the carbon, but at the same time it took off the electroplating. There's a special chromium. Some of them use chrome, some of them use a different type of plating so that it doesn't rust. It's likely this is, underneath this is probably some other type of metal like steel, or I don't think it's copper. I have to look into what the actual base of the plug. If anybody knows, please share it in the comments there, what they make the plug out, and then they have to electroplate it to protect it from corrosion and reactions and basic reactions like oil and grease. And if it was just steel, it would rust. Like if you clean these with vinegar and you leave them out, they go to rust. Because I got this idea of using CLR of some other guy. I forget the name of his channel. I really, forgive me for that, because I forgot his name, but he was cleaning something else with this. I think it was gun parts, like it's the barrel of his gun. His barrel was stainless steel, so like he was saying, oh, this is great stuff for cleaning carbon because I have a stainless steel barrel and CLR doesn't affect it. It doesn't react with it. Though, if this is definitely not stainless steel because CLR is reacting with it. Now, CLR has another version of their product. And I don't know if it carries the same patents there, but the other version is for grease, tar, and like something else. It says grease, tar, and something else. I forget what it was exactly. It wasn't calcium, lime, and rust. There's like 3 other things that were more closely related to grease. So maybe that will work better on carbon. We'll have to see, because this didn't do so well on the carbon. Took off the plating pretty well, and I imagine that's because it's an acid. Like, it went right for the plating, the electroplating. Some spots is kind of cleaner than others. But yeah, can kind of go through these here and see if there's anything that has been cleaned up inside the plug. They'll probably have to be wiped down and then re-dipped if I decide to use this, but I'm kind of bummed that it took off the plating. I'm hoping that it's not just the plating. It just, I hope it didn't do that. If I clean it up and the plating's still there, then we're probably able to use the plugs again, but I have a feeling that it's stripped off whatever plating's on here. So you wouldn't want to use that in anywhere near moisture, or else this is gonna rust all to shit. There may be other good reasons why you don't want to take the plating off, probably because if the electrode gets corroded, or if it gets some kind of I don't know, fuel or oil could cause that to degrade even more, but they must plate it. They plate it for a reason. So anyways, there's another shot at it. It's the last one. All right, so that's the CLR bunch. And then the ZEP. Now that's a different story. It got much cleaner. It got well, it didn't take off the plating. Let's see, there's a lot of carbon in the bottom of this thing. You can see chunks of carbon coming off at least. It's easier to see that there is some cleaning action. Much easier. And I bet if I left it for longer, that, see how much carbon's in the bottom here? It just kind of took the chunks off, like, and it's sediment in the basin of the solution. Oh, my money's on this product for cleaning plugs, at least. If you guys are into snowmobiling or two-stroke engines, you know how much you foul spark plugs, and that finding a solution that can clean them without having to buy new ones all the time can save you a lot of money. Another thing I wanted to mention is the ZEP and the CLR was less than $10 each for those two products. You get a lot of product. And if you get the, I don't know, what is it, the gallon size of ZEP is like just $5 more. So yeah, you can save a lot of money. This stuff does work. It's just, I didn't agitate it. I wanted to see how well it could work on its own, but I bet if you run a brush over that now, you run something careful, like you probably want to use a nylon brush, not brass, or you probably could use brass, but I want to see if I can just kind of let it sit, if it will just clean on its own, if the electrodes will clean up on their own. So that's really good for not manhandling it. Surprisingly good. Not taking off the plating is a bonus. It gets bonus points for that. It means it's safe on what you can, I call it like a delicate metal. The plating is very thin layer. So, well, that's cool. I might just leave it in there to see another day. That's the winner for sure. So for my final test, I wanted to put these plugs up. I might just take this one and this one, put them in this cleaner, or maybe I'll just do them all. And what'll happen is these will get cleaned up. I'll soak them in water. I'll mop them up the best I can. Then I'm gonna soak them in this solution, which is in another video. And forgive me for forgetting people's names, because in the older days you would get chased down because someone wasn't cited in a reference in your, if you were doing any kind of reference to anything. People would get angry because you didn't cite the proper references that helped you get your information together, and it's really bad form and bad practice. So forgive me if I happen to find those guys, or if you guys know who they are, post their usernames so that they get credit for doing the initial tests. Because I picked this product because it was second best out of all his tests. I couldn't find the Lucas product, which is like the injector cleaner and upper cylinder lube. I couldn't find that anywhere, so I went for this guy. Based on what I saw, the performance was almost identical. It was very hard to tell, and it might have just been that one plug was worse than the other, so it was that close. So I'll just clean these up and start fresh with, and we'll soak it in this injector cleaner and see if this product can beat these products in any way. Now that it's a little bit of an easier test because they have been broken up. Like they've got some carbon and dirt off of them. So maybe it'll be an easier job for this product to take over. Though I have no other new or old used plugs that were in the same condition. So we have to kind of use these. Though the winner so far is Zep. It did an excellent job and continues to do that. I think if I left it in longer and I had like a if you had one of those what do you call it, like a magnetic stirrer or an ultrasonic cleaner, that's my next investment, is to get a ultrasonic cleaner and then use this product. And I bet if I did that in 24 hours, that would be clean. So, and it wouldn't need any other manhandling. Anyways, we'll come back with the last series and see if anything changes with this product. So after I cleaned these, rinsed them with hot water. I didn't rub them much. I just agitated them in hot water and I got a new dish. I noticed that more carbon came off with hot water. I'll let you guys be the judge, but they look a little cleaner. And that the plating some of it oxidized, it looks like, but there's still plating there. If I rub it, it kind of comes off to a little bit of a shiny area. Some of them are a bit shinier than others, so I think it just degraded the electroplating, the chromium, whatever they coat these with. And this one here is the one that was done with Zep. Even it, after a hot water rinse, more carbon came off. Now these might be beginning to rust now that I have it in the air and just water on them. We'll just go ahead and put in the Seafoam cleaner here, this one, and come back. This is the Seafoam injector cleaner upper cylinder lube, and it's a little greasy, like it's oily. There's definitely oil in there, and it's translucent, so you can't see really very well in there to see if it's doing anything. Though I'll come back in the last video, look for my final review and we'll see if this product cleans any better than these actual cleaning products. On this is pretty much a cold soak, room temperature. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and stand by for my next video. I'll do it in 24 hours, and we'll have a look at things at that time. Ciao for now.